Are you ready? Can Crushers. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Well, let me tell you, brother. Ravishing Randy Hogan here, NWA WCW star, and I'm coming at you from the Can Crushers, baby. #1 podcast in the whole world, brother. Let me tell you, old school stories, not the same info, not the same questions, coming at you on a regular basis. And what you gonna do when Can Crushers and Randomania run wild on you, brother?
Welcome, everyone, to another Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. That sexy man that you can't see is Sir Michael Jenks. I am Mark the Mark. And Jenksy, I'm feeling a little bit frisky tonight. Just ready to probably piss people off because, I don't know, I'm in a good mood.
Frisky, ready to fight, piss people off, huh? Sounds like a perfect time to record a wrestling podcast, then.
Well, I'm excited because, listen, we've pumped it up for a month now, but one of our favorite episodes is coming next week.
Yeah.
And I've seen emails starting to slide in about Ask Can Crushers, so that's always a good thing. I haven't checked the voicemail, so if anybody's done the voicemail, thank you. But they're doing it. They always come heavy the last week.
Yeah. They're going to be hot and heavy this next week. I figured we'd only have a few, if any, trickle in here leading up to this point. So, man, oh man, I'm waiting to see what you guys can bring to the table. Can we get more than 16 like we had last time? I'm wondering. We'll see what happens.
We had last time 16?
We had 16 last time. I think one or two were from me, but so we had like 14 or so. So we had a decent
still ended up being a 3-hour show. They could give us 5. And it could be a 3-hour show.
5, we're going to talk about shit for the entire 3 hours. Plus, we already have a topic on the horizon that we know about.
We actually have 2. We have yours and mine.
That's true. So mine was the matches to watch when you're bored, and yours is?
Mine is the shift of the pillars.
Yeah.
Who are the pillars now in both AEW and WWE. So... And I think across the board they have shifted in both.
Oh, yeah, and WWE seem to have shifted the most, which is surprising in the most side. And probably between the two, that's the most surprising. But we shouldn't be too surprised because it's Triple H's full-on reign right now with it.
Yeah. His reigns. So before we get too far, I hope everybody enjoyed this past Wednesday's Can Crusher Spotlight with the almighty EMT, Urza, Menagerie, Tinker. That was a fun one. We learned a lot. And spoiler, she's homeless. She's a homeless wrestler. I don't want to give too much away of what she does, but unbelievable. And shoot, this is real, folks. She probably has become my therapist. We have talked a few times already about stuff going on in my life, and I really enjoy everything EMT does, and just the way EMT lives life is crazy.
It's crazy. Hey, and you know what? You find people to be your pseudo-therapists in all different ways, forms, fashions, things of that nature. For you, who's doing one interview, one simple Can Crushers podcast interview, spotlight episode, it takes some people through the internet, some people going to a therapist's office. It takes friends. It takes just some guy at the bar listening to you just ramble on about how your life is going to hell and you're drinking away the sorrow. It's the way it goes. It just happens.
I've been to those therapists before. I've been to those.
I think we've all been to those therapists for the most part, but it speaks volumes. You find the best outlet for your emotions in the best way and what works for you. So,
yeah. Already everybody knows I always pre-record. This coming Wednesday, I get berated during the whole podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just completely shit on the whole podcast.
So a shift.
Yeah. Definitely not my therapist. Definitely probably won't somebody back on ever again. I don't know. Just berated me. And that guest is Bam Bam Baker. And for what it was, he's a good to great human being, but yeah, definitely a heel. We'll just leave it at that. Definitely a heel.
Living the gimmick, as they would say.
Yeah, living the gimmick. And I don't know if, we kind of just said goodbye at the end, and I don't know if it's I usually reach back out and say, hey, thanks for the interview. Go out this day, or whatever. He's like, yeah, goodbye.
All right, well.
Make sure you listen, though. Make sure
you listen. It may not be the best interview for Mark.
Definitely was not. You need that, though, a little bit in your life every once in a while, getting treated like a pile of crap, because it humbles you.
Oh, yeah, we'll go with that. It's a humbling experience. Sometimes you need to get shit on to move forward.
Sometimes you're a guy listening to the drunk guy, and you're like, oh, is this guy ever going to shut up? And my life is definitely better. I digress, so how was your week, sir?
My week was okay. I can't complain too much, but it was a long week for both Kimberly and I. She had been getting home late this week. They were down to a one-person wrecking crew at the doctor's office she works at. She's a lone wolf with the doctor she supports for the past 2 weeks. Turns out her coworker had got a tick and got some symptoms of Lyme, so things just kind of transpired over the past. She's fine. Everything's fine with her. But she's been lone wolfing it, so she's been coming home late because she has a hell of a jaunt home, if you will. So it's been fine. You find things to do and kind of live the single life a little bit too much. So not my favorite thing in the world anymore, but yeah, it's been good. Not a lot going on though. Just going forward with it, basically.
Essentially, yeah. To answer your question before you get out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this week. I had the one interview to do, and I got shit on during it. And the rest of this week was work, trudge through, do this, do that. It was nothing super terrific, but nothing super bad. It was just like a middle of the month week. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it was just one of those weeks where it was like, all right, let's get to the end of it and call it a day.
Yep, I agree. So, hot topics. Jenks, I switched again.
I switched again
for emotional things, because I was sitting there thinking, when I was a young Mark and playing, and I always asked, and this one's going to stick and stay. Okay. This one will stick and stay. I would ask my mom. I mean, I've been having mom feelings. I've been in the cemetery a couple times this week, just to chit chat about what's going on in life and everything. She picked Buffalo for me a lot. Buffalo's not a good team.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to the MAC, which isn't great.
Okay.
And their uniforms aren't super fantastic. But I had mom feels this week, and I've been watching. They did release some new stuff for NCAA, EA Sports College Football, whatever the hell you want to call it. You guys have been along for the ride long enough. You know this is how we started the show. I just had mom feels, and I'm like, you know what? if there's going to be a team that I'm going to drag out of the basement, because some of the other ones that we talked about, they really don't get anything, and that's really a great build.
Yeah.
But the first one, not that Buffalo gets 5 stars, 4 stars, they get 2 or below, essentially.
Right. Oh, 100%.
So it's still essentially East Carolina. I'm just moving from one conference to the next, and it's going to be Buffalo. They're pretty generic. They don't have coolness, but I think I want to bring coolness to them.
Okay. All right. So you're going for it. I have not made the final decision on my team yet. I like Buffalo. I like the Buffalo pool because that's a group of 5, whatever they're called now, group of 5 team. Not really great, not really anything of substance within the MAC. They're not a powerhouse, to say the least.
Not even in the MAC are they a powerhouse.
No, God, they're not even close to being a powerhouse. Powerhouse, good Lord. But
they may be a power mouse.
They might be something, that's for sure. So, I like it. I like the pick of Buffalo. I don't know if I'm going to have a pick before July 19th.
That aha moment.
You know what I have done in the past? Scrolled through the list, see who stands out. Then you start whittling it down further. I know it's not a Power 5. I've already made that determination. It's got to be Group of 5. We've talked about that. I've seen the hardest one people are thinking is Kennesaw State.
Yep.
Maybe it's that. Maybe I don't want that challenge right away. So I'm gonna play the field, see what feels right, what feels good, and move forward with that. But Buffalo is an interesting pick. I would never have pegged you for Buffalo. I
don't know why, because I think something was always, the MAC has always been a weak division, and I'm like, I showed Mom, this is the shit I remember. I don't remember birthdays or anything important. I would show Mom, I'm like, hey, this is the MAC. They're not a good, group, essentially. Which one should I be? And for some reason, there's all the ones in the MAC, Kent State for Jason Vaughn and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
She's like, pick Buffalo. We could always go to Buffalo or something like that.
Yeah.
She was a big fan of blue. Buffalo's clearly blue.
Blue.
So, Buffalo, final decision. East Carolina will wrap back around to you at some point in life. But the first is going to be Buffalo.
I love it. Love the pick. Love the decision. Maybe I need to sit down this weekend and do some self-reflection. Just be like, who are the gods saying to me? I'm probably going to go visit my dad this weekend for Father's Day, obviously. So maybe he'll speak to me and say, God damn it, you're going to pick a Pennsylvania team or bust, or Villanova or something like that, even though Villanova's not in it. He might pick Pennsylvania. He's sure as hell ain't picking Ohio State. I know that one for a fact, so we're getting out of there. But we'll see what happens. We'll see where the cookies crumble, if they crumble at all this month.
Did you see earlier this week, it has been officially announced, the FCS teams that are going to be on the game is North, South, East, West, the generic ones. Nothing has been pulled, and they're not sure if they're going to put them out, is what I heard now.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. How many people are going to play with FCS teams? How do they have the programming after like 5 seasons to get them switched over to a big league, essentially?
Yeah, true.
So.
And I think they're playing into the team builder aspect of it. They're giving you team builders, so how many are going to get created? Yeah. So how many are going to be able to be created within team builder to get to, why would they develop it?
Right.
So.
And if you create a team, listen, when you create Jenks University and I create whatever, Can Crusher or Martinez University or whatever, because that's still not in my head, clearly not going to put them in the FCS. I would probably put them Conference USA for a little bit, shift them a little bit after I've undefeated a couple years in there.
You start them low in the FBS, and go from there. For sure. I mean, there's just no way. I'm really intrigued. I didn't see a date for Team Builder. Do you know?
They just said coming soon is kind of what I saw. The portal's opening.
The portal's opening. I mean, that makes sense because you would want people sitting there cranking out, getting ready for the actual game itself with Team Builder. Because we talked about this. Nobody's playing stupid Ultimate Team. They're playing Team Builder. They're playing Dynasty.
Yeah.
That's your bread and butter for what your game is. So.
Other than that, listen, I don't have shit for Hot Topics. Like, not a lick. The whole week has been mundane across the board. I mean,
it's been quiet.
Yeah.
Purely quiet from a Hot Topic WWE perspective, or wrestling perspective as a whole. So yeah, there's not been much going on. We already knew about the contracts coming up.
Yep.
And I think it's becoming even more apparent who's staying, who's going after Monday. If you're not reading between the lines, then
Prince Puma will be making an appearance.
Prince Puma's going somewhere, or Rick O'Shea, a very Irish counterpart, will be making a showcase somewhere. But
does he have the hyphen in it?
It has to have the hyphen in it. O'Shea. I mean, that's just the way to do it. But yeah, it's very, very much likely that there's no Hot Topics. We know who's staying, who's going. Again, it's just a quiet week up for wrestling. Does it pick up in the next couple of weeks, or are we kind of in a lull now where everything is kind of settled down?
Listen, we have predictions to do for later on, essentially. Yep. So we'll get to Clash at the Castle, Clash at whatever the hell it's called. We'll get to those predictions, and I think that'll lead where we're going for the WWE. AEW is a crapshoot all the time. This is one of their big pay-per-views. Forbidden Door.
Yep.
How do they follow it up? Because they have a month, roughly, between All In, All Out, Upside Down, Over and Under, where the hell, whatever one's first. They have time to build whatever they're going to build. Yeah. Essentially, they have to. I think it picks up once we get to the Owen. But and we don't know when the Owen starts yet.
Well, that's true. I think I look at it as the Forbidden Door is essentially the door to get to the other side to All In. It begins your run to All In, your road to All In, if you will. So the Owen Cup, I think, has to start right after that. I would assume. I would assume next Wednesday, right after, we're 2 Wednesdays away after Forbidden Door.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Because that only makes sense. I mean, what else are you going to put on the eve of July 4th to entice people to watch your product? Right. So let's be honest, if they got, everybody pretty much has off for the most part, July 4th, so they're going to be losing their shit and getting wasted and shooting fireworks off, hopefully safely, but they ain't gonna fucking watch TV.
No. See, this is what happens when we don't have Hot Topics. I saw a TikTok this week.
Okay.
Can you make a machine gun sound?
Oh, I've seen this TikTok. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Numerous men have asked wives, girlfriends, sisters, aunts, not uncles, but, any woman in their family to make a machine gun sound. Can they really not, and this is no snide or hate or anything, can they really not go like they're doing like pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
I went down the rabbit hole, hundreds of videos of women not going or how. Can they not? Anybody that's going to send something in for Ask Can Crushers, you're a woman that you're going to write in, or you ask your wife, ask your sister, ask your aunt, your grandmother, whatever. Ask them if they can do it.
Yeah.
I really don't, I want to take our own poll.
I think we have to. I mean, the amount of females that think a machine gun is a blaster from Star Wars is just astounding out there.
Right.
And I feel like, I know we're seeing hundreds of videos. I do feel like, hopefully, that's the minority of that.
I would hope.
But who knows? It could be one of those things where we're just,
everything on TikTok is true. Like, they probably weren't made up videos.
Oh, no.
Right?
No. Everything is true.
That's what I thought.
If you can't pick up on the heavy sarcasm and not seeing our voices or faces, then I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, everything in there is true to the bone.
100% legit. There's no editing or nothing.
Nothing.
So segment 2, because we're going to go right to it real quick. This may be a short show. Segment 2 is going to encapsulate.
See, you said that, and now it's going to be an hour and a half on AEW.
Segment 2 is going to encapsulate all of wrestling this week, because we always save predictions for the final episode, for the final segment, both and everything. So
one of those things.
So we can take a minute to actually pay the bills correctly this week, is where I was getting.
Yeah, let's do that correctly. My mic's plugged in, so we're off to the right start here. For the podcast.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Collar and elbow. Hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool things that Al Snow and the hooligans have down there. From Monday Night War shirts to Dusty shirts to, other ones that are being for remembrance of Shad and Animal. I still love wearing my Macho Man inspired one with Al Snow and head on it. They're super comfortable. You've heard me talk about them for essentially 8 years now. They're just great shirts. They've been beat up. They've been through the mud. They've been through literally the ringer hundreds of times, and they come back each and every time. They're awesome. They're comfortable to wear. So go and buy the shit out of Collar and Elbow. Jenks, what's the promo code?
Can Crushers, save yourself 10% off when you go to Collar and Elbow. Buy them fancy ass t-shirts, Collar and Elbow. On the flip side of things, there's an affiliate code for WWE Shop. Click it in the show notes. It may give you a discount, may not. But it's an affiliate code, so it helps us out at the podcast. Go ahead and click it. Get your stuff for Clash on the Castle to root for your favorite superstar.
You're not going to get it by Clash of the Castle. Well, today.
You're not, but maybe you get really excited. Right. Maybe you've made the prediction that Drew has won the world title, and you want to buy a t-shirt. Go for it.
You could use it as Drew wins the world title, if that's what you're thinking, and then buy it right off the bat. You're going to buy something from the WWEshop.com. Why not help out one of your favorite podcasts, the favorite podcast of Toronto, second favorite of
Council Bluffs.
Was it?
Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Council Bluffs. I know.
Second favorite of Council Bluffs. I really thought it was something else. See? Buy your stuff as you're watching the pay-per-view, or PLE, essentially.
Yeah. Buy it. Get yourself the hookup.
Don't forget, we have merch as well. It's over at CrowdMade. So when you go to CrowdMade, type in Can Crushers in their little search bar. The shit that we have is up there. Hoodies, tanks, regular sweatshirts, tees.
You thought WWE stuff and Collar and Elbow stuff was fancy? Get our stuff. Rep us. 100%. Word us out in the world. We do thank you for that. Helps us out, obviously, tremendously. You live off a dubby.
I do live off a dubby. And I don't know if I'm drinking too much. I don't know if you can drink too much dubby, first and foremost. Let me say it that way. You probably could, but I already have to order another one. So either the scoops are getting heavy or I'm having more dubby. Because first and foremost, it does the energy thing for what you need. As a garbage man going to work, 4 o'clock in the morning, it takes me from 4 until, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I don't have a crash. There's no calories in it. There's no carbonation. Tons of awesome flavors out there. But I only drink 2 because I'm an old soul, and I like the things that I like, and I don't want to gamble on anything else.
That's fair.
So check it out. Go with Beach and Peach first, and then try Callow Cream. If you don't like those two, there are other flavors out there that, blueberry or dragon fruit or something like that. But there is a sample pack, and you get the shaker. All of it's like $20. You'll get your 10% off of it by using our promo code that Jenks is going to tell you here in a minute. 2 scoops in the morning, shake the shit out of it with water or any drink that you would like. I wouldn't put it in anything carbonated because that's defeating the purpose. Drink it up and you are good to go. I just do water. I'm content with water because I like the full peach flavor.
There's nothing wrong with that. Water, do it. Water, flavor of water. Why not? But Can Crushers, use promo code, get yourself some sweet deals at W.com. All right. So they can listen to us, I think, at Apple. We got iHeartRadio.
You really want to do it right? Do you really want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it right. He's showing me up here, folks.
Ready?
He's on a warpath with this. Go for it.
iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, TuneIn Radio, Alexa, Google Play is gone, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Bullhorn, Podchaser, WrestlePost app, Pandora, IMDb, and Podurama. Oh, yeah, in YouTube.
And YouTube, you took the words right out of my mouth. Look at that. What is that, 20? 20 different avenues to fill your ear holes with our sultry voices?
Those are the ones that I know.
That's still 20. That's still pretty good. A very good selection. So, pick any one of those. Listen to us. Some of them, seamless transition from device to device. Some of them, you can listen to us again and again and again. Repeat the same things over and over again. But it's still, you're getting us feeding your ear holes with our sultry voices.
One episode, the same episode on all of those.
Yes.
For 1 week.
Do it.
I want to see how that algorithm comes into us then.
Listen to the previous Ask Can Crushers. Make sure your Can Crushers your questions are not being asked. Again, might be a good way to do that. I don't know. My computer just popped up with, do you want to switch your audio for the microphone? So I got distracted there for a minute. But Gnat. Squirrel. They also need to get a hold of us for Ask Can Crushers. You guys should know this by now, but cancrushers69@gmail.com. Send in your questions. Talk to us about your top 5 matches that you're bored that you would watch when you're bored. Also, who are the pillars now for AEW and WWE? Give us your thoughts on that. You can also do it over the phone lines if you want to hear your voice on air. That's 814-299-6687. Try to keep it to 3 minutes. Don't be a Dan Mucci about it.
Yeah, or you could DM your questions on any of our socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, X. Listen, I haven't been on Threads for a while, so let's just stop even saying that. But the 3 big ones, you could DM us and drop us a message, and if that's the way that you want to interact with us, cool, send them over. We'll slide those into the whole notes for next week. Get your questions out there. We're excited. We go over wrestling fast. I know there's a PLE that we have to cover, and then we'll have predictions that we have to cover next week.
Yep.
This show is yours next week, guys. So get your questions in.
We're asking you for...
Don't be scared. Ask us anything.
Yeah, ask us anything. We're happy to answer whatever we can. We're not going to give you our social security number, so don't even ask that. But we'll give you a lot of other things.
Now. I'm in the term that I'll give anybody my social security number.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be perfect advertising for them not to ask. Then I don't know, but we'll see.
I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. I think that's our bills paid.
That was the longest bill paying we've had in a long time.
We had to kill time.
Get ready. We're going to talk about wrestling in segment 2.
Hey there, it's me, your almighty EMT, Urza Menagerie Tinker, and we love Can Crushers. Thank you so much for always being a Can Crusher fan, because we want to see you in the next episode.
Welcome back to Can Crushers, folks. It's time to talk about what happened in this week in wrestling. And of course, Sir Michael Jenks, we have predictions here in the next segment, so we always go the opposite way. So we have to start with AEW.
We do. We do have to start with AEW. And it was a rough one this week, I think.
It was a rough one. Listen, we're not breaking down matches whatsoever on AEW this week because I don't really think we need to.
I mean, when Collision is basically all squashes and two matches that it was Sunday Night Heat for 2 hours. They had FTR on it, great tag team match, and they had Orange and Kyle, but outside of that, it was just. Ugh.
Well, FTR seems like they're going to be taking. This could have been Hot Topic, but we have to have filler for AEW as well.
Yeah.
Dax kind of going to be on the shelf for a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it looks like he got a little bit banged up in that match for whatever the hell he spit out at one point. Did not look too fucking good. So.
Came on, I think it was TikTok, but it was released across the board that he's got some back issues, this, that, and the other. So that's why we don't see him in anything predominant right now.
And then the fact that they took it to a time limit draw between the two, maybe they're thinking it just is more banged up, just needs to heal up a little bit than it is anything major. But to be fair, FTR's been going and going and going and going for the past years.
Yeah. Heavily since AEW. Since AEW. They did their shtick in WWE, but it wasn't as much. And they've also done indies and everything. Listen, I always say one of the greatest matches I've seen in person was Speedball Mike Bailey and Dax at WrestleCade. Unbelievable a couple years ago. And they do that. Yep. So it's okay that they say, hey, we need to take a break. If this is story and we're getting bit with a story of his back being hurt, cool. I'm all right. They can come back. We can get them in the box, wrap back around again after more shit happens.
And it's pretty good timing for this because I don't think they needed to go through blood and guts again. Now that got announced on Wednesday. Yeah, they can avoid that. Although, to your point, if it's story, maybe this is part of a miraculous comeback that happens at the end of July, because that's when it seems to be targeting. So, who knows?
Let's go to Swerve and what he's doing in the match that he has next weekend, and writing's on the wall, right?
Yeah, unless they have something major planned. The writing's down. Swerve's house is about to get torn down.
Yeah. I don't know if I like this run that he had. Like, I wanted him to have a really awesome run.
It's tough because it's only been 2 months.
Right.
It will essentially be a 2-month run. I like what he did initially for the run. I think for the run itself, okay, good. The Christian match actually was better than we thought it would be. He beat Joe, so that turned out to be a pretty good match. There's a lot of filler, a lot of personal. It was a lot of things made personal against him versus, hey, this is just a wrestling business type thing. Now, with Ospreay, we're seeing him not execute the kill shot that we're talking about. Because he even said it to Ospreay in his ear on Wednesday. If it was anybody else, I'd put you in the grave. That's a hard-ass line to say.
That is. That's just a respect.
It's a respect thing, but it also means he's holding back because he considers him a friend. And is that going to be the catalyst to get Will the win? Will Will not stop at everything? This is actually coming to a head now. Because if you think about it, Will's been holding back on Tiger Driver. He's not being the executioner of sorts. We saw that with Callis last month at Double or Nothing. That actually benefited Will because it gave him, listen to Callis and he won the match. Neither man is looking at kill shots. We might be going to see a marathon a little bit until somebody finally pulls the trigger and says, I just need to put you down and out of your misery.
And which one gets it off first?
Yeah. Or I'm overhyping it and it's really just somebody's going to interfere in it. That's going to be the end of that.
Yeah. That's what it, I don't know. Predictions next week on that.
Yep.
These qualifying matches are just...
Predictable.
Here's going to win, and here's his opponent.
The squash matches.
Yeah, they really are. They're squash matches, yes. I did like, though, listen, Jack Perry is getting all up in my feels. I love these. Listen, Dustin does it so good, though. So you have to give props to him. He just took an ass whooping again, and that's what his go-to is right now.
Yep.
They said, here's your opponent, Dustin. I'm like, wow, that's cool. He's not going to be in the ladder match. Plus, it's against Jack, who, I don't know, not a spoiler, but maybe a prediction. We both have him winning the title.
Yeah.
In this match.
Mm-hmm.
It was to see what he did to Dustin, essentially. I don't know. I was pretty pumped that he bloodied the Christ out of him.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to get that on TV, but it wasn't ever a match for me.
No, it wasn't a match for me. I knew who the winner was, but to your point, I wasn't expecting them to bloody Dustin, but Dustin also likes to bleed in every goddamn match that he has now.
Yeah,
so
he's the old Moxley.
He's the old Moxley, yeah. He's got to match his face paint. He doesn't want to pay the money for it at the store, so he just bleeds to cover the other half. But yeah, I mean, really, essentially it was just to build Perry up for, oh, I can win. I can do something. You know what I mean? So I didn't get too many thrills out of this besides Jack was winning and Jack dominated Dustin.
Yeah. The next thing, and then I'll let you throw one out there. I love Roosh. I really do. I think he's being hugely misused in AEW across the board. I think the pummeling that he's going to take from MJF next weekend, clearly, right? This is MJF's first match back.
Yeah, but it's going to be, maybe they're putting MJF through the ringer on Dynamite next week, because to me, this is always, I thought, okay, they're going to do this at the pay-per-view, and then when they said Dynamite, I'm like, oh, okay, so they're really going to give him a New Japan star that can make MJF kind of prove himself afterwards.
Yeah.
So now it plays the question of, this is essentially a mini program to get him to whoever his opponent is so that they can come across seas and actually make it here.
Right.
So who is it? Is he maybe he's going to challenge for the New Japan World title. Maybe Moxley drops it, to Naito this weekend, Naito, or not. I don't know. It's one of those things where Roosh was never winning this to begin with, because he's a bull, and he's going to bruise you, but he's never going to win anything because they won't put him over in that manner.
Is MJF getting into the Owen, or does he get his comeuppance a couple weeks later All Out? Because we think it's, listen, for 6 months we've been saying it's Ospreay and Danielson.
We have been. But I think MJF has to win the Owen at this point. You come back right in time for the Owen Hart. You're not going to put the TNT title on him.
No. How are we getting to Danielson Ospreay then?
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are now either.
I think that was the one-off at Dynasty, and now Ospreay is going to defend against MJF. But to me, I'm also going to say this. Don't blow through all your top talent just to put him against Ospreay right away.
Right.
There's
I don't want to see that
there.
yet. I'm not ready for that.
I'm not ready for that either. I'm ready for... Honestly, I'm not even ready for Swerve and Ospreay at Forbidden Door.
No.
I don't think that should have been your main event of All In, and have Ospreay win it in his home country.
Yep.
So the fact that they're pushing that match is a little disappointing to me. They're expediting a lot of these matches, and I don't know why.
Yeah, because you brought it up already that they're already pushing for Blood and Guts, which is after Forbidden Door. Yep. Way after Forbidden Door.
Yeah, it's a month away.
Is Blood and Guts going to All In? Is that where we're going to have it? So we're taking the Mega Cage and all that.
No, they announced it's in Nashville on the 24th. I think they said on Dynamite. Let me see.
All right,
Let me double check.
I didn't know.
It was like a blurb on the bar, like across the top. Yeah.
Okay, but that makes sense then.
Right. See, here's the thing with this also. When they announced Blood and Guts, and then they gave the date later on in the night. When they announced it, it was against pushing Swerve into Team AEW, essentially. So I think, to me, that's saying, okay, we got to take the title off of Swerve and push it to Ospreay, so that Ospreay can do some other program going into All In, and then Swerve, if he gets injured in Blood and Guts, we're safe.
Right.
That's literally what they did.
Do we want Acclaimed in Blood and Guts?
No, I think that's the biggest letdown right now.
Yeah. I don't want to see that.
I think Acclaim's, but I'm going to say this, I think Acclaim's only in it because FTR can't be.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, they still think that Acclaim's hot. I think
they do. Yeah, Tony loves the guys. And listen, they would still have the appeal, but they're just, you haven't done anything with them in months of substance. You put the trios titles on them to essentially die on them.
Yeah.
I'm more excited to see the Bang Bang Gang versus House of Black this weekend than I would be to see Acclaimed versus anybody at this point.
Agreed. What do you got?
Well, speaking trios, let's go right into... I'm going to go into that trios match because I got to give my boy Mark Briscoe the most unhinged fucking promo I've heard in a while.
What the fuck was he trying to get to?
I don't know. I was dying. Kimberly was watching and dying at the same time. She's just like, what the fuck am I watching here? And I go, this guy's got redneck kung fu behind his back. Don't worry about it. Just let him speak. And she was just so unnerved by Mark Briscoe going off. So, kudos to Briscoe for that one. But I think the important thing that came out of this wasn't the Don Callis family versus fucking OC and all that. It's the TV champ pinned the world champ of ROH. Yep. I think that is the takeaway here. And I think that leads into, because I believe ROH will have a pay-per-view coming up in July. I think it's about that time. That might be your title match for that pay-per-view. So I think that's a very telling foreshadowing going on right now. And the big takeaway from that trios match is we think we should be watching the Callis family with OC. Truly, we've set up an ROH angle here to kind of push that forward. It should be that'll be pretty interesting to see.
You got one more? Because, I don't know, listen, we're not talking about matches. Some of the matches were rough.
I think the last thing I'll bring up, we talked about Ospreay, we talked about that. We'll give the women a little bit of time here.
Say it.
Which one do you think I'm going to say? Because I'm going to say this. I don't know what to look. I'm more excited for the TBS Women's Championship match than I am the World Women's Championship match. I don't know if you thought I was going there for the AEW Women's. because I think Monet versus Stephanie, I can't remember her last name, but Carrie, whatever, is going to tear it down. And that's because Monet has just been great. She was great at Double or Nothing with Willow. Zexus, however you pronounce that. I was not going to be able to pronounce that.
I knew I wasn't going to pronounce that, yeah.
But Zeuxis, that was still a very good match for TV. What? So I'm thinking that's going to be the match that's going to steal the show, essentially, at Forbidden Door.
I really think so. That's exactly what I was going to say, that when Mercedes wasn't doing anything for 6 months, but trying to talk and yapping and everything, her resume now in the ring again is like, okay, this is why she's actually here. Yes.
We doubted and forgot, and we're eating crow, essentially. Again.
But you're right. Zeuxis or whatever, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. Have I searched her up? No. I did nothing this week, but nothing. I liked what she could do. They clearly has had a match before. Because shit was good. This was for AEW. This was my favorite match, of the week for sure.
I agree. It's Dog's favorite too.
And you don't even have anybody coming home right now.
No, I'm all by myself right now.
There's a squirrel outside
right now. Yeah. Don't get me started on that story yesterday. Barely staring at a bunny and Charlie having no fucking clue what the hell was going on in that window. That was ridiculous. But besides that point, I think they said Zexus was Stephanie's tag team partner at one point in her career, so there's tie-in. But you're right. There had to have been some sort of match before that, because it was just crisp. It was on point. They knew where to be for each individual thing. Or they're just really good athletes and they know what the fuck they're doing, which we know that from Mercedes. Not as familiar with CMLL. It's just one of those things where you eat crow. And now I'm excited again for a Mercedes match.
You're right, though. The Tony and Mina thing seems to be more not even about the title. It's where Mariah is going to end up.
Yeah, it's about Mariah's lustful desires at this point, because I don't know what the fuck that promo was Wednesday night.
It should have been on something that we don't promote on this.
Yeah, exactly. What's allowed on X now is where that should have been. But it didn't do anything for me. It did not showcase. I get there's a relationship there. I get that. Listen, sex doesn't sell wrestling for me.
No.
It never has.
I can't say it never has for me. Attitude Era, when I was a pre-teen, all of that, without a doubt it did.
Well, see, here's the thing. 12 years old, I didn't come for the sex appeal. Okay, I stayed for the bazongas, but I didn't come for the sex appeal at that point.
Well, no, you don't.
Right?
This is going to sound horrible, and you are used to it. You never come for the sex appeal. But you're there for the wrestling.
You're there for the wrestling. It happens. You pick it up. What I will say is this. Obviously, these women are beautiful in their own right, but at the end of the day, it's always been about wrestling.
The rap.
How do you? Because I'm walking away. Like, it only goes so far, and then you're like, I don't want to fucking see this shit again. Like, you don't do anything but that.
Exactly. It's the whole Trish Stratus, Lita, Molly Holly, Tori. It seems. As a crotchety 47-year-old man right now, I'm like, this seems filthy.
It is filthy. It was always filth at that time, but to that point, they were filling and going after a certain demographic with it. And certain demographics would spark your ratings, jump your ratings, and get you where you need to go. Now,
how many more innuendos can we put in there?
I know, right? It's just at this point, it's just sticking innuendos in there. But for both of us, I'm here with wrestling. I don't care about the perceived beauty. They don't care either. The perceived beauty. Give me something. I don't know what she's done. as an American wrestling fan, I have not watched Stardom enough to understand what Mina has done in the ring.
Right. The shit's still going through my head, and that's horrible because I shouldn't let that shit go through my head. But I agree. I have dabbled a little bit with Stardom, but I don't think I dabbled when Mina and May were doing stuff and everything. And it still seems like I said, it's a battle for Mariah we've said this for months now. I mean, Britt's not back, Jamie's not back. I don't know if we want to see them instantly thrown right at Tori. Who the hell is Tori Wilson? She's definitely not there. Toni Storm as soon as they come back, because they've both been gone for more than a year, essentially. This is just to get the split. So, all in, all out, whatever one you pick that Mariah is going to beat Toni, I don't see anybody but Mariah at this point beating Toni unless there's a massive surprise. I don't know. I'm not going to say, we've referenced Natty last week, but whatever. I think Natty beating Mariah then, after that, giving Mariah her kind of like Liv Morgan first run, her sniff to see if it goes over. I could see that to give Natty some, and we don't even know if Natty's really going yet or not. But, I think we both think, because it ties in awesome to the Owen and it makes sense. I think this is just a really, really long Toni Mariah story that may have gone on too long, because we were ready for it probably month and a half to 2 months ago. Now that we have to get in the X-rated, whatever we're saying, it's lost everything for me.
Is it giving desperation?
A little bit.
But to that point, maybe it's because we don't know exactly what the gimmick was for Mariah and Mina in Stardom at that point, when they were together. But I could see it giving that to, we need to have something, some sort of sex appeal, something to bring people in. Because you got the pervs that are going to show up. That's just the facts of the life at that point. But yeah, I wanted to ask this because I thought about this. Do you have any more on that topic or anything in general? Because I got something for AEW.
I'm done with AEW.
Okay. I have one for AEW's New Japan relationship in general, and I want to throw this at you. And if you want to think on it and talk about it next week, we can, but when's the time come for AEW to pay the piper? And by saying pay the piper, I mean, you have lent your stars to New Japan, and they have taken their top titles and worn them for months on end. When is AEW paying the piper in this relationship that they are going to give a title to a New Japan star and let them run with it? Is that something that would happen?
I love where you're going there. I do. And we're going to answer it now because we have time.
Yeah.
Because Okada's not the title. Listen, I hate to say it that way. This title Okada had, it's got to be the Women's Heavyweight Championship. It's got to be the Men's Heavyweight Championship. And that's it. Yeah. Not tag team with two of them coming together. It's got to be the major title. And you're right, it needs to. If we're doing something together, and I'm always horrible thoughts, but I'm always driving to Erie to see you.
Right.
And I will, trust me. But you know where I'm going. At one point in time, I'd be like, dude, do you mind making the trip down? And you're like, no. It's much cooler up here. New Japan's got to be there pretty soon saying, listen, Moxley's all over the place. It's got to be soon. But it's got to be, I hate to say it, I think it's got to be the right person. Like, It's got to be. I think it's got to be Takeshita, right?
Well, I would think, but Takeshita's not New Japan. He's AEW.
I know.
I can't remember who they named for the tournament, Owen Hart tournament on Wednesday. I can't remember his name from New Japan. But that was...
I missed a lot. I must have had a lot of bathroom breaks when I watched this.
You must have. Sometimes it's just one of those things where you just have the bathroom break. You probably ate a bad bean or something Wednesday and it just didn't happen for you. But they named somebody, I can't remember off the top of my head, and it was like, oh man, is he going to be the guy that wins the Owen tournament and goes to England? Probably not, but he's going to be a star. Right. He's a star to make a run there. So I think for me, it's just, when does it come? When's the piper get paid for this? Because it has to at some point. Or Japan considers U.S. market a very big market, and they're more than willing to sacrifice their titles to support the U.S. market.
They're happy to get, I'm going to say Takeshi again, or Okada, of people that may have not ever seen them before. Okay?
No.
Shibata, anybody like that has trickled over now is AEW. But they're like, whoa, if we mention them enough that they were in Japan, maybe those eyes will now trickle over. We're happy with the viewership that we're getting from America now, compared to our guys don't need to go over there win titles. We're more about the money for the company than what the hell we're sending people over for.
Well, that's fair, and that's why I think you're seeing, to that point, that's why you're seeing more U.S.-based shows be their big shows. The Chicago show, they have, in L.A., they do a lot of stuff there. They have an L.A. dojo at that point.
Yep.
It's all about, maybe that is their plan, is that they are there to get the exposure in the Big 48 of the U.S., the continental United States. How do we bleed into the United States market more and more? Maybe that's the direction they've been focusing on. And that's why this deal becomes important.
An all-in takeover of the United States then. Maybe. I'm not saying it politically or anything like that before people start thinking we're going to get World War IV and nukes and this, that, and the other thing. Maybe there's a slow, steady as, hey, we're going to continue to send people over to work with any company, essentially. And everybody's like, oh my God, New Japan is a stronger style. If we dive into their stories are long. Like, they will tell stories for years of hinting this to this to this to this. And if you don't put the pieces together, you forgot that story was there. Maybe, this is a far thought, essentially. Maybe they're just working about taking over the world. And they just want to be New Japan Universe instead of anything else.
Could be.
It's been a slow process.
Yeah, they've been at it for 30 years, 40 years, something like that. It's time to build a Hey, WWE didn't have a universe until 2010. So just saying, it took 30 years.
It did, bro. It really did.
It did, bro. Bro.
AEW is good. Wrap it up, put a ball on it, stick it in the corner to next week.
Yeah. Just don't misbehave in that corner. And
nobody puts baby in the corner.
No, yeah. I'm not even going where I was going.
You're done? You don't want to say anything?
I'm done. I'm not even going to say it.
Okay. We're essentially going to do the same thing for WWE. Just keep it all, wrap it up, and put a nice little bow on it. I think, I'll start because I want to give you your complete props. You're completely right on the bloodline. 100% last week. What you said, you're 100% right that this is all Paul just playing a hell of a gimmick, and he is going to run with the new kids on the block. They'll be hanging tough.
It's too obvious.
It was. They got the right stuff.
They do. The right stuff. Oh.
Yeah. I had to.
I love it. I love it.
My mind. I do question, did I miss something? Did we not talk about it? The Profits were still bugging Bob to be with Bob. They were with Bob. Bob was kind of mad at him, but they really didn't get discharged from Bob. BFAP's still with them. They're supposed to be hated, but they just saved probably one of the biggest faces, KO.
Yeah,
what?
I don't know.
There's not a link in hell there for me.
I think they picked a random tag team with a big name and went for it. I truly do. There's no link whatsoever.
No.
I have no,
and I hate it. Absolutely hate. Why wouldn't Randy run back out? Why wouldn't name anybody else?
Name anybody. And that, maybe he was all out of friends. Maybe that's it. I mean, at that point, KO literally had Randy, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else would he have? When you run out of friends, you kind of gotta find. Yeah, you have to find people in the back alley. Not to say that about them, but you just have to find random people in the back and hope for the best. It's just you and you.
So you're telling me at one point KO said to the Street Profits, hey, if I ever get pummeled by anybody, you got my back.
No, I'm saying he was fucking, I need help. I need somebody. You're not doing anything over here. How can I help? How can you help me? Yeah, how can you help me? I don't know.
Are we really we're getting the writing on the wall now that it's a triple threat, that we're getting new tag team champions, right?
I think so. I mean, it just seems obvious at this point that we have to be.
Yeah. Team Bianca and Jade are not in the mix of the fall.
Yeah.
Neither's taking a loss.
No, neither's taking a loss here. I would say, I can't remember who's the third team now. That's escaping my mind. I know it's
Unholy Union.
Unholy Union and
Shayna and Zoe.
Yeah, they basically have Shayna and Zoe in this. Honestly, Shayna has been the one losing lately, whether it be Lola Vice on NXT Battleground to just in general. Shayna's here to take the brunt of this and just take the loss for her team. But I think it comes down to, how do you get rid of the other two? How do you get rid of Bianca and Jade? Bianca's easy.
Bianca's injured.
Yeah.
And then two people are working over Jade.
But the build that they've done for Jade feels like that they need to.
Remember, it's triple threat, so there's no rules.
Agree. But I feel like they would almost have to Brock Lesnar.
She's gonna take a chair shot, I believe.
I think she's got to be buried under the table.
Something.
Yeah.
And at 2.5, she breaks out, and she just doesn't get in the ring fast enough.
Or she's handcuffed to the rope and she breaks the handcuff and tries to jump in there.
Don't forget, the Unholy Union have witchcraft and such.
I'm praying to God for witchcraft in this match.
I am too.
Just sage or some shit, just voodoo magic. Put them in the corner. A wall of fire. Let's steam this shit up, yeah.
What do you have? Essentially, we're on SmackDown right now, but what do you have across the board?
You brought up the Bloodline, you brought up them. AJ and Cody, it's I Quit match. We know that's going to be the fact. They're sniping jabs at each other. we're recording the things have come through so far.
Right.
SmackDown's basically done in Scotland right now. The one thing I did see of that was they made snide comments about being in other companies and quitting them, yada, 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 fill in the blanks there. Is this AJ's last run?
It's gotta be.
He pulled a Mark Henry.
This was go ahead.
Yeah, he pulled the Mark Henry, but I think this is actually a last run for him. I don't think this is going to go any further than this. He doesn't have anybody else to face at this point in WWE.
This is I think it's desperate for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
AJ has nothing. He is a legend. Is he Randy Orton legend? Get ready for the hate probably from some people. I don't think you could just throw him into any feud and it's going to be super fantastic. Or phenomenal, so to speak.
Yeah.
You built nothing up for fucking Cody again. We've been saying that after WrestleMania. Cody is really doing nothing.
Cody's waiting till he faces the guy solo at SummerSlam.
Yep.
Literally all he's doing.
Yeah. Because who else is there for Cody?
Not a damn soul.
Nope. There's one person, a solo man.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for anything Cody's doing right now. His story ended, and I'm like, holy Christ, do not write another book.
This is the problem we thought was going to happen, is because they have an idea of what they want to do, but it still revolves around the bloodline. And you take out the biggest player in the bloodline, not The Rock, and you lose that element to it, there's nothing else going there. Last year, even though we said, oh, Cody's thing with Brock is a little blah, it's what it is, it's da-da-da, and it seemed like he lost his way, there was a constant thread throughout it that they reminded us of. It was Roman Reigns, and that he was going to get back to Roman Reigns. That's the problem. If you don't have a good succession plan in place, it doesn't matter where you're getting to or what you're building up. I mean, for the fans, I think, but it could be on the fans too, is there too lofty of expectations that he should have amazing challenges lined up for him left and right across the board?
He's a prodigal son. Yes, he should.
But if you take away the main villain, don't really have a secondary villain for him to face, prodigal son or not, you have nowhere to go.
No. Right. And it's Rumble for him is when he starts picking back up. I don't even think it's SummerSlam.
I think we're going to get the bloodline. Cody's a secondary place in the bloodline because once he beats Solo, Roman comes back.
Right.
That's the key there, and then that all implodes, and it's Roman Rock, I think, next year. I didn't live through it, so I can't make this comparison a very educated comparison, but I'm going to say it anyways. This almost feels, and again, here's the hate from the older generation and that, this feels like a Ric Flair going through the territories and fighting Joe Schmo from this territory and that territory and defending the NWA title against this fucker and this fucker.
Number one guy in the territory.
Number one guy, yeah. And it's never going to be close. It'll be close, but you're never going to beat Ric Flair. This is just at a larger scale, and it's more confined to what your company is.
Yeah. That's a great comparison. I actually love it as the old guy. I think it's a great comparison.
Yeah, because Flair was always chasing Dusty or Steamboat, or not chasing them, but you know what I mean? Steamboat and Dusty are chasing Flair. So how do they get to him? well, Flair's bouncing around, defending the title against Joe Schmo here, Joe Schmo there. Dusty and Steamboat, they're grinding and trying to face everybody under the sun to get back to where they need to be to face Flair. But it's always those matches that are the big draws for it.
What do you think Dom and Liv's baby is going to be named?
Dom Liv.
Right?
Yeah. Liv Dom?
Something's like, listen. We chuckled about the kisses and the rubs of the hair and everything. And we know Liv is usually scantily clad, dressed. And essentially here comes the sex talk again. Wow. Just mount them up on the outside. And
see, I'll go on to the sex talk here and say there's a purpose to it.
Right.
And it's not like everything's hanging out. It's not like the tits out, watch out for the shoe.
Right.
It's tight clothing, don't get me wrong, but it's modest for what's being shown. But the sexual harassment's on overdrive. That's what's giving it the sex appeal here. I think it's somehow Dom's not breaking. I don't know how.
I know. I would be dead.
I will say this. The card game, I'll call it, at the round table was better than it should have been. And with Finn ending up with the card at the end, it still plays into my theory that there's still fucking Judgment Day over 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
Liv knew Finn would get that card, and Finn's still playing the long game with Judgment Day.
Do you think he used it? Do we get footage?
I think we get footage that Finn went into the hotel room, but it's not the footage of them doing anything. I think it's just him going to the hotel. Yeah. Right. This isn't Edge and Lita. We have footage of him going into the hotel room. Obviously, it's more part of their plan versus anything else.
Yeah. I actually love all of it. I am. I know we just talked about the shoe and the tits out and everything 15 minutes ago, but it's different. It's story driven. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a perfect. Liv is manipulating to get back at Rhea. We're adding the Finn element to it and speculating this is also to destroy Judgment Day from within because Rhea's lived, breathed, and everything Judgment Day. There's a purpose.
Did you think Carlito really wanted to grab the card, though?
Oh, like everybody he played that. The only one to say that's cool and then try to grab the card too. That was good.
Big turn without ruining anything. I think we get a big turn today as you guys are listening in this IC match. I think we get a big turn. I think so too. It's hinted around. This is going to be the catalyst for them to go out on their own, maybe introduce the new Alpha Academy to us on Monday when the time comes. And essentially, I don't know if he's going to go through a tractor trailer or anything like that, but this is Chad's goodbye after the handshake because the contract done. The contract's done. I don't know. There's not a payoff, though. There's not a payoff. Which is why I don't know if it is his final match. I hope it's not. Because I want to see Chad notice. I do, too. I think one match between them for the IC title would be fun. Yeah. I agree. Because, listen, I don't know if we're ready for Sammy Otis yet. Because they're two baby faces. Yeah. You can get Otis Chad. I don't think we ever get Sammy Otis. Neither. Otis Chad, yeah.
100%. I think we get at the biggest party of the summer.
So maybe a month-long handshake.
Could be a month long, maybe 2 months. Or maybe it's an actual contract's already been signed.
Yeah, and we're just playing the game.
Because let's be honest, the way they wrote off Ricochet, it still gives him a way back in. Oh, he's been injured. He has multiple upper body injuries. Gives him time off. He can still walk right back through that door and face Braun Breaker
Whenever
after
he wants.
4 weeks. Yeah, after 6 months or whatever. Or if he's going to AEW, then okay, Braun's ended his career and he's just gone to AEW.
7 years later, oh my God, Ricochet is back.
And that's the beauty of it, because he could essentially, the way they're booking things long term and all that, people are going to remember this. It's memorable enough that it'll carry. So 5-6 years down the line, holy shit, Ricochet's coming back for Braun's world title.
Right. As Braun's defending the world title against Dragunov at a SummerSlam or in your house or whatever we're going to have that title defense. Ricochet walks back through that door.
You hear it? Yep.
By the way, I enjoyed the shit out of the Braun Dragunov match. As much as it was, yes.
I was hoping that they wouldn't have a winner, just so that we could say, okay, let's put it on ice until the end.
Wrap it back around, but it can be wrapped back around any time.
Any time. That's the beauty of Dragunov and the beauty of Breaker.
I have one last thing. We can talk about Finn and Drew, essentially, because there's stipulations around that, but I have one last thing. And I don't mean to mean, because I love Awesome Truth. I was actually pulling because I like the Final Testament. I do. I love what they could be. And I thought, all right, if AOP gets the tag titles, maybe we're going to get a little bit of a Final Testament push.
Yeah.
The Final Testament is the Dark Order. They're not getting above where they are.
It's not even the Dark Order. It's just they're crap. I lack of better words, crap. The fortune teller piece, cool. Comedy gold, right? Okay, cool. You're moving it. As soon as he said we're facing an APA, I'm like, oh, this has got to be a fucking AOP. Great. But to lose on a fucking roll-up?
Yeah.
Couldn't you have just, interfered and got a disqualification and beat the shit out of Awesome Truth?
Right.
The mercenaries that you have, this is what's every time. You have mercenaries. You have big, strong, MMA fighting men, and they lose on a roll-up.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of joke is this?
I don't know. I mean, I know when they first came, they were on, I'm talking their very first rendition before they got released and everything. They were a team I thought, holy Christ, these guys might be tag team champions for 25 fucking years. They were built that way. They were awesome. They were like, oh, this is a tag team. And we know WWE always hates tag teams. It doesn't matter. It's still continuing. Nothing against you, Trips, but it's still continuing from your father-in-law. WWE does not like tag teams. That's it. Done. You've had some of the greatest. You have had some that you could have pushed, like the AOP, and made them holy crap. No.
AOP and FTR would have fed families.
Yeah. Along with the War Raiders.
Yes. Viking experience. War Raiders. That would have fed families. DIY, which you know what? You broke them up. You got great storytelling. Great. You reunite them. That would have fed families. That would have been great. There's Street Profits, AOP, would have done it. But we didn't get that.
No.
AOP's being limited for some ungodly reason. AOP should have been your Road Warriors / demolition of this time.
Powers of pain.
Powers of pain. But they're nothing more than just a jobber group.
Yeah. They are the Shinsuke of the tag teams. You put them against me or you, they're going to go apeshit crazy and kill us.
Mm-hmm.
You put them against anybody else, they get rolled up.
Yeah.
And yet, listen, we understand, yes, New Day came out, distraction, yada, 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 if you're going to do storylines, but...
It's not even a storyline at that point.
No. All right, they're out of the picture. See ya. Yeah. So the main event of Raw, essentially, was Drew against Finn, okay? And Finn was thrown still, clearly, understand this, that we're going to get Priest and Finn at some point.
Yeah.
We don't know when, because Gunther's in the waitings already.
Yeah. Or does that actually tell us when?
I think it does.
Yeah.
We're not getting Finn and Priest for a title. We're just going to get backstage brawl, fight this, that, or whatever. Mm-hmm. If that's what you think is going to happen at the pay-per-view today, this afternoon.
All of the above.
All of the above. But Finn loses. Judgment Day can't be at Ring. Now, if you are a thinking man, and predictions are coming, so we're not going to give you ours real quick. They're leaving Punk at home. Right? Can we transition off of this and then jump back? But are they bringing Punk? Are they making you think that Punk is going to interfere? Are they... Punk will get the largest pop over there.
Yeah.
For the 30 seconds that he's going to be there, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Does Punk cost? Does Punk help? There's a lot going on with Punk. Punk hasn't been on TV in 2-3 weeks now.
He hasn't. He's been forgotten, which is a perfect opportunity.
And Drew's even forgotten a little bit.
Yep. Drew's refocused now.
Let's see. We'll have something to say. I'm done on WWE. Is there anything else that you want to chat about WWE before we get to predictions?
No, we got to predict. But I got theories out the ass, at least for the
Austin theories.
No, but Theory, my man, Grayson's not on your side. Just saying.
No. Again, I will say this just to be a royal asshole, because I said I was feeling frisky and wanted to stir the pot a little bit. Lyra can live by herself. Stop with the Becky stuff. You're making me not like Lyra right now.
Yep.
Rebecca Quinn is gone as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let Lyra do her thing.
Let Lyra be Lyra.
We'll be back with Clash at the Castle, Clash in Birmingham, Clash wherever the hell it's at. Predictions.
I'm Loverboy Timothy Flowers.
And I'm Dashing Chris Ringrose, and we are the sexiest tag team in professional wrestling, the Brothers of Seduction.
And you're listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Breaking news, but not breaking news, because many of you probably realized that halfway through the show. We actually don't need to do predictions next week for Forbidden Door, because we have another week. It's 2 weeks out from this show that Forbidden Door is happening. Next week's just Can Crushers only.
Well,
or Ask Can Crushers only. Yeah, recap and Ask Can Crushers only. Recap of the week and Ask Can Crushers.
But that's probably my fault. I'll hear it in editing that I said, oh, don't forget next week we have another one to predict. That's probably my fault. And you just jumped right on.
You know what? I never clicked. And then I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, we have 2 weeks still for Forbidden Door. We have time to cook.
We have time to cook. And do you know where, which is awesome, because as I'm sitting here looking at the calendar that I have right in front of me, that it says all this stuff on it, wrestling-related calendar. I am going to the Dynamite that is the go-home show prior to Forbidden Door.
Are you?
In Buffalo.
Oh, look at this guy dropping bombs here on us now.
That happened this week, actually. Because I didn't know it was in Buffalo. Why would I know it was in Buffalo? But one of my buddies, born and raised in Buffalo, trickled down to this shithole of Ridgeway when we were in senior league in baseball, with Ric Flair in my wedding, said, hey, I bought us tickets, Dynamite's in Buffalo, just to let you know we're going. Oh, all right, sure. Don't twist my arm or anything like that. I'm like, sure. He's like, I'll pick you up, and we'll go. I drive south when it comes to Pittsburgh, or do anything in Pittsburgh. Since he knows Buffalo more than I know Ridgeway, he'll drive north. And I'm like, cool. Yeah,
that works.
That happened this week. He's like, you clearly want to go, right? Does a bear shit in the woods?
So no, you don't want to go.
No. But as I write it down so everybody in the household knows, my schedule, this, that, and the other thing, I have had the Forbidden Door. I'm like, oh, we're getting the Dynamite right after Forbidden Door. This has been since Monday. We're getting the Dynamite right after Forbidden Door. Which I'm like, it could be up and down.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll see.
Depends on what it is.
We're getting the Dynamite before the Forbidden Door. Now I'm super excited.
You're going to get everything under the sun. You're going to get the people that they're facing coming in from New Japan. You're going to get the builds. It's going to be the best show for it. You're going to get everything.
I hope we're close. I hope he spent a lot of his money. He might have got him, he might have got him comped, too. I'm not going to be a royal dick. I bet you he got him comped from a business and this and that he does shit with. So
Hey, you know what?
It doesn't matter.
You're going to Dynamite. You're going to fucking Dynamite.
Yeah. So.
Whoop, whoop. Sweet level, maybe.
That would be too. Maybe we should stay in Buffalo. Sounds like I'm off the 27th. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think you should. Just enjoy it. I remember the one suite I had for Night of Champions, I think it was. We got lucky. I don't know how they made it happen, but we got suite at Night of Champions, watched Mark Henry win the world title from Randy Orton.
That was in Buffalo.
That was in Buffalo, yeah.
Did we go to that? We were there. Like, we were
both there, yeah.
We were at that.
Quit.
It was an off weekend of this Seawolf.
It was September, so they were done.
They were
done. Yeah.
Did I meet? It's now coming back that I was there with you guys.
I think you met us
I
there.
just went to Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, you went to Buffalo and met us.
It would be stupid for me to go to Erie drive 3 hours to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you and I were cheering for Mark Henry the entire match. For that, I think. If I'm correct for that.
Cody Hetrick was there.
Yes. Uden.
Yes.
Gania.
Of course.
There's maybe Strobel.
Okay.
Yeah, and then was there one more?
I don't
know. But yeah.
Yeah, we lucked into that.
You did look into that.
We need to do another suite of something. We really do need to do a suite for something.
I agree.
More time soon.
We have to figure that out.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, it's time for our predictions after we just relive our 10 years ago. It's more than that, actually.
Listen, it's the sweet life in the castle. That's all I'm saying.
Fucker. If you realize that now, folks, that's why it's called that.
Yeah.
Took us, I don't know how long we've been, but long enough. There's the title, that's why.
Just have to we gotta get you guys to listen to the entire show to find the title. That's about it.
Right, yeah. And we're lucky we know this. So let me turn the page over in the notebook.
I have to earn my title shot back, do I not? I think here.
You just lost it, so I think this is your rematch. Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I'll take the rematch here. That's fine.
I would imagine.
I'm probably gonna have to re-earn it after this one, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know. My head's all over the place. I could make some stupid ass predictions in this.
Yeah, I already got it.
I could probably only have it for a month. That's how stupid I think I'm going to be.
We'll see. We'll see if you're going to swerve this or not.
We'll find out. 2 weeks. We'll be swerving.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Match 1. I'm just going to go in the order. For some reason,
First and foremost, because this is how unprepared I am. How many are on the docket?
According to where I'm at right now, 5 matches.
Yep. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, 5 matches right now at Clash. So
it's overseas. That's all you're getting.
You're only getting 5.
That's what you get overseas.
You don't need any more. The crowd's going to be hot. You're going to love it. Okay.
And you're right. I think the crowd is going to be unbelievably hot for 2 matches.
Yeah.
Clearly the main event of Drew and Priest. And I really think Piper's going to get a lot of love.
Piper's going to get love, but they do love their Bailey over there. So I think that one, yeah.
Divided, but you're going to get the Bailey song. You're going to get
Piper
cheering for Piper. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Drew match, it's all Drew.
It's all Drew. Love.
Listen, we're in predictions, and we don't have to go first, but I think Priest is a sacrificial lamb.
For the crowd. Oh, yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen a second time, wild.
Yeah.
But we'll digress.
We'll get there.
We'll get there when we get there. Let's start with the women's title, though. Bailey, Piper. I'll go first, but I think we're both in the same boat. We said this last week or a couple weeks ago. Piper is essentially to show what Bailey can do against somebody that's bigger than her, athletic, can do stuff in the ring. This is setting up for her and Nia. This is Bailey's win. Scotland's going home unsatisfied with that result.
Agreed, because they're not giving both to Scotland.
Yeah. No, they will not.
Not that we'll get there when we get there. You will not get 2. Will you get 1? We'll get there. But, yeah, exactly what you said. This is to set up Bailey, Nia. I wouldn't be shocked if there is a little funny business. One, I hope Chelsea's there, but I don't think she's going to be the funny business. I think the new, what did she call herself? The princess of the ring.
Oh yeah, the princess of the ring.
There could be a little bit of funny business because she said she's going to protect Nia as much as she could, and that's our girl Tiffy.
Yeah.
Tiffy's, by the way, I really do think Tiffy is paying a price. Because I think for what she had said, and they said there was nothing. I think they shuffled. I think they shuffled to get to Nia, because I really do think SummerSlam was going to be Tiffy Bailey with Tiffy
coming out on top.
So I think link her to Nia. So at some point it will be Tiffy Nia. I still say Tiffy has it by the end of the year, even with whatever.
They're just delaying it a little bit. Yeah. Now that you say that, that seems to be the most obvious kind of direction here.
Give Nia another run. She's had it once, I believe, once, right?
Yeah.
Give her another. Have it be a quick one. Tiffy doesn't win it on the big show, maybe she wins it at Survivor Series or something.
Right.
On paper, the Survivor Series is a big show, but what's in between SummerSlam and Survivor Series?
Bash in Berlin, and then there's probably one more, I think. And there's a Saudi show. So, 2 pay-per-views.
When the hell is Money in the Bank?
July.
There, then maybe. No. Oh.
No, because that'll be before SummerSlam. So, I think they get to SummerSlam, Nia may turn around and lose it immediately at Bash at Berlin, or Saudi. if you want to go that route.
Or maybe Nia wins it at SummerSlam and loses it at SummerSlam.
Well,
Because there's a month-long cash-in.
I mean, it's on track for the women. It's either the day of or a month later.
Right. Again, I wouldn't mind. Carmella has been the one that held it the longest. I'm sorry, Bayley has held it the longest.
That's her best friend, okay? Come on, get that under it.
Right. There needs to be a somewhat of a long women's hold of the Money in the Bank, I think. So maybe not a month. We'll see. But we both have Bayley winning the match against Piper.
Agreed. All right. Let's go triple threat tag team, women's tag team match. Bianca Jade, Alba Fry, and Isla, oh my God. Ilsa Dawn versus
Isla Dawn?
Isla Dawn, whatever.
You should, because I struggle with that. You should just call them the same thing I call them all the time. Unholy Union.
Union. I should, but I'm trying to be difficult over here. And 3 beers in, it's whatever. But Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I think we've already alluded to who our pick is, but go ahead.
We did. I want to stir the pot a little bit, though.
Okay.
We don't have Team Storm Bianca winning this whatsoever.
Right.
We don't have anything for the other 4 women in this match then to do afterwards. Unholy Union has just come back. I think they need to get the win to solidify that they are a tag team where Shane and Zoe they're kind of on and off again every once in a while, right? Yep. Could that be in the mix of they start some type of mid-card feud a la Not Around a Belt, that we get them going at it? We both have Bianca injured in this match, maybe not coming back for a couple weeks, which could lead to Jade's popularity to supersede Bianca, and that's why she gets pissed off, and we get the heel turn that we've suspected about Bianca. I think this is a surprise win of the Union, though. Have it be Shayna or Zoe. It might be, as much as we just bitched about AOP getting the roll-up, this makes sense, though, if they just kind of, and then they have to solidify themselves that next week they defend it 1-on-1, or 2-on-2, essentially. Yeah. Against Shayna and Zoe again. And then the following week, maybe Piper and Chelsea or something. But they need to solidify that they're a portable tag team. I'm going Union, essentially. But yes.
I'm going to go Union too, but I'm going to throw this one in there. Maybe to further establish themselves, they pin Bianca.
Because she's injured.
She's injured.
Bianca gets hurt her then.
Exactly. And the other two are dealing with Jade on the outside, trying to knock her down, whatever. And it just perfect whirlwind of a storm that divide and conquer, essentially.
Of the 2 champions right now, Bianca could take losses for the next 6 months and it doesn't hurt her.
Be fine. It'd be absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with Bianca taking that loss.
Right. Injury or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt her.
No, not at all.
But fuck you, Jenks. I like your idea better because it solidifies them more of, yes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it earlier, because I was like, why not? Because then, to your point, it's going to solidify them more. It's going to actually maybe put a little bit of prestige around the title and give the women's tag team division a little bit of a kick in the ass to kind of go in the right direction.
Because we have 2 months to build this for their SummerSlam match.
Yeah, I do think or if they win on Saturday, I'm sticking with Unholy Union, but if they win on Saturday, then we're getting a Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero match at SummerSlam. Which one of us is better?
Right.
Woman versus woman, which one of us is better? Jade beats Bianca. We start the Eddie Guerrero downturn into a heel turn. And then WrestleMania or something, that's going to be the follow-up match. It's not going to be custody over a kid, but it's going to be them versus each other. And let's call a spade a spade. SmackDown women's title. We were saying Tiffy and Nia. It could be for the women's title by WrestleMania.
It could be. It very well. It probably should be. Yeah. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
This way Tiffy gets, and again, I'll always use this, Tiffy would get her live run to see if that's what we really want.
Right.
Because then Nia's a placeholder, essentially.
Yep.
That's it. I hate to say it that way, but she is. She's a placeholder. Bayley's too popular. You can't, I don't think you have Tiffy beat Bayley.
No, I could see that.
I could, but
to your point about them delaying Tiffy getting the title shot, why not delay Tiffy beating Bayley for the title?
Right. That could wrap back around.
Yep.
Next match.
Next. Let's go to the IC title match. So, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable. Is Chad leaving WWE after this match? I think he's staying, and I think Chad's winning this match. I think we're getting a program with Otis at SummerSlam.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope you're correct. Because I do, down the line maybe, but I don't want Sammy Otis yet. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's two faces.
I mean, we kind of got it this week with their match.
Right.
But when there's momentum behind both of them.
Right.
Yeah.
The momentum's there, but it's... Mm-hmm. So, I think maybe I'm not... We're going to be fucking tied on this across the board because I know our next two picks. One we've already given away. Well,
do you though?
Well, I quit. I know that.
Well, that one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't see Sammy losing it. Honestly, though. So maybe this will separate us. I don't see Sammy losing it. I think the Otis-Chad thing is more not around a title. I really do. I do think Chad has, in my peanut brain, has re-signed.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be more of a fight over Alpha, and it doesn't need to be around the title. An IC title, I hate to say it this way, Waller could step in, even as tag champion, and do something. Theory could... The IC title can be fed. Mm-hmm. There doesn't need to be elongated storylines for it. So we'll separate on this one. We will separate on this one. I'm going to go Sammy. Sammy retains because Otis goes with Sammy, and we get a big pop. But Chad and Otis are probably going to be the best mid-card match of SummerSlam.
That's fair.
You're taking Chad.
I'm taking Chad.
I won't hate it. I won't hate it.
No, I think for Chad to win it, I think there's a necessity for change on Monday for what the Alpha Academy is. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of Chad wins the title. He's re-signed. He's winning the title. Monday he introduces a new crew for the Alpha Academy, and just because that's his ultimate goal. It wasn't anything else. It just throws these guys to the wayside. To your point, though, if Otis costs Chad the title, he's going to do it anyways. In the next week, the Alpha Academy is going to look different.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, some way.
How about, because this was my other one, the only reason why Sammy keeps the title is because mid-match, Otis just turns on Chad, refs down or whatever.
Yeah.
Pummels Chad, misses Sammy with a clothesline, because you noticed on Monday night, that was alluded to. Otis was not running to give Sammy a clothesline in the corner. He was pissed off, and he was going after Chad. Chad just had the wherewithal to move. Otis is a big man. He can't stop on a dime. He just continued, plowed into Sammy. Felt horrible afterwards. How about that? Otis does hit the clothesline this time, or spear, or the worm, or whatever the hell he's going to hit on him. It's not a cheap way, but it's a cheap way for Sammy to keep the title. And then the whole explosion happens anyway Monday, and we get we're on the same path. It's just how I'm taking a windy road, you're taking a direct road.
Yeah, and I will say to that point, what you mentioned about Monday, don't forget though, Otis then hit the world's strongest slam on Sammy.
Did.
So that one was by choice.
Right.
We'll play it. It's letting us speculate at that point which direction he's going.
Right.
Beauty in the writing. All right.
That's probably the most excited about anything I am on this card, and I hate to say it that way. I want to see the Unholy Union win.
Yeah. Yes, for me, yes and no.
Okay.
I think for it. Okay, this next one, everybody knows what we're picking, but we'll do it anyways because we have to. I Quit match, WWE title, Cody versus AJ Styles. Yeah, let's just move on from that. We already know. Okay, final match. The World Heavyweight Championship match. Judgment Day's barred from ringside. It's Priest. It's McIntyre. Who do you got?
I really want to see Punk come out and fucking cost him the title. Because I really want Punk Drew without a title not meaning anything at SummerSlam. Because we can him-haw around. Maybe Priest's elbow is dinged for a month and he goes on the fake shelf, essentially. And he costs Punk the Money in the Bank, then to lead the SummerSlam, where they just have. Listen, if Punk and Drew doesn't happen at SummerSlam, I don't think there's a payoff to this. This is going to be one of the biggest matches at SummerSlam, but it has to happen at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
It's been built up since Royal Rumble. So I think it needs to happen there. This is a 6 months, something that we've been waiting for. But something tells me WWE wants to give Scotland, wants to give them their, hey, here it is, Drew has it. He holds it then to SummerSlam. And here's my prediction. Punk is champion at SummerSlam. Because he does then get the Money in the Bank. But Gunther's still sniffing. So,
yeah, this is where, so Mark can see me and I've been him-hawing, punching air right now because I forgot totally about the Gunther aspect of this. I'm talking myself back into my original prediction for this. I'm going Drew to win the title, but they have loved calling back old storylines, things that have happened in the past. They're going to do it in this match. Somehow, some way, they're going to call back when Shawn Michaels cost The Undertaker the title and Bret Hart won it at SummerSlam 97. Chair Taker's head, Brett pins him, Shawn has to count. Punk's going to swing for Drew. Drew will know it's coming, and it'll miss, hit Priest, and he'll get rid of Drew. Or he'll get rid of Punk and win the match. Scotland's getting their pop.
Yeah.
Now, SummerSlam, Gunther beats Drew because Punk will get his
shot.
Punk's going to cost Drew the title. But not tonight. I think in Scotland, Drew gets the pop he deserves.
Yep. Agreed. The downfall is we don't have the payoff match that we wanted at SummerSlam. Nothing against Gunther.
Yeah. But, to your point, we don't get that payoff match. We may get it later in the year.
Okay. I'm fine with all of it.
Yeah.
I am. Because if there's somebody, and I'm dad moments, if there's somebody that I think really deserves the moment, I really do think it's Drew right now.
I do too. And I think, okay, yeah, you got the WrestleMania pop, but this is Scotland. This is home country. This is going to be bigger than any pop you would get out of WrestleMania.
Remember the Zelina Vega in Puerto Rico? This is going to be essentially.
This is topping it. Yeah.
If Zelina would have won there, it would have been the pop that Drew was going to get.
Yep.
Over there. This is going to be 190 million Drew with maybe one person that cares about Damian Priest.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's just how we're getting Punk involved. Does Punk win? And this isn't predictions, this is just discussion to fill a little more time. Do we get Punk Drew for a title?
No.
I don't think so either now.
I'm starting to think we're getting Punk and Drew for someone else's title. Or, actually, you know what? I'll take that back. We will get it for a title at some point. But maybe
is it a
not
Mania
soon.
match?
Maybe. But I don't think so. I think it's Seth Rollins facing Drew or Punk for the title.
Okay. So how long are we booking Gunther as champion? He's not having 666 days heavyweight champion.
I book 5 months.
Big pay-per-views, we're going to say Rumble.
Let's book him to Rumble, because maybe that's when Punk faces him. Punk, hook by crook, wins the title from Gunther. That keeps intact another streak that's been going on, where Gunther has only been beaten once per year since joining WWE. That's 2018, I think.
Sure.
Something like that. He's only been pinned one time in WWE every year since then. Sammy was this year.
Right.
They'll hold off till next year at Rumble. Pinned him there. Then that's a whole other year on top of that. He gets Brock, because him and Brock at Mania, it's happening at Mania. It ain't going to be for a title.
No, it's happening. Brock has been, again, mentioned enough.
Yeah.
That the seeds are being planted.
Yep.
I think there's good matches on this card. Mm-hmm. Like Bayley Piper, I think is going to be good. The women's triple threat, it's going to be, I don't want to say hokey, but there's going to be a lot going on with the champs.
Yeah.
Keep them out of the picture.
Yes.
Sammy Chad is probably going to be the best wrestling match.
Agreed.
Cody AJ, I would love if we get some blood, if we get some, like, Tully Blanchard, Magnum TA, I Quit stuff. I don't want it to be a shitty I Quit match.
Yeah, it's got to have some sort of
meat and potatoes.
Meat, potatoes to it, yeah.
But shenanigans afar should be in this main event match. Because, say once Punk comes down, ref's out, clearly, Judgment comes down, shit goes awry, I love your swing and miss thing, and then Drew gets it. The ref notices when he's up that the Judgment Day, so he's getting them out of the way, and Drew takes care of Punk that the ref didn't see.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's got to be done right. Or we'll be like, whoa, that was a 2.5 beer fucking pay-per-view.
I think it will be done right. I'm skeptical of how good Priest and Drew would be. Two lumbering giant. Priest matches are hit or miss sometimes.
Yep.
Drew has proven he can have great matches. So does Priest rise to the occasion with Drew? I don't know.
Priest, I will still say this. Priest's best match was still against Bad Bunny in my
100%.
He's, I don't want to say fallen, but he's had a downward spiral since that. He's been very much tag team, very much do the comparison. He needs the Judgment Day to get wins. He's a AAA Roman.
Yeah.
Double A Roman.
I would say double A.
Yeah. And it's not working.
No, 100% it's not working.
Because it's too close together. On the other show, we just saw Roman do it for 1,400 days, or whatever the hell it was.
And Roman was more established at that point.
Yeah.
Damien's not. Damien's not established enough.
And the Judgment Day is, they're serious one week, they're very hokey the next month.
Yep.
This could be one that we remember for good or bad reasons.
Hopefully good.
Hopefully good. I'm racking my brain because I forgot what I wanted to ask you. So, but nonetheless, we'll get there.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Probably next week during Ask Can Crushers.
Perfect time to do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Neither one of us are watching this live, by the way. We have way too much shit going on. So, just to let you know. What do you got going on this week, fine friend?
Way too much shit going on. No. This week, birthday party for one of the kids in the family. Gonna enjoy that. Then outside of that, it's Father's Day Sunday. But
Happy Father's Day, all the dads out there.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. The week ahead is more or less, what am I going to do? Bebopping around the house. Hoping for the best. I mean, that's just about it. What about you? What do you got going on?
I have hopefully a spotlight recording set up. Hopefully this guy doesn't berate me like this Wednesday's guest, Bam Bam Baker, did. Other than that, honestly, nothing. All sports are officially done. So there is, we had a state champion here in the local region for softball. So that was cool. Congratulations to the Du Bois Central girls for winning that. Yeah, maybe spring cleaning. Like I seriously thought that. Like I should just pick a room each night and after work just kind of tidy up, move stuff around, and I've come to terms that I'm not anymore. I have one wall in the podcast room that is not completely finished, and I'll probably get a lot more at WrestleCade. So I'm not going to worry about that wall. I'm done. I'm set. I'm not moving any more pictures from here to there or to here.
Okay.
But, just spruce up each room and just, spring cleaning in the summer.
I like it.
Other than that, we're waiting. I don't actually have the real countdown. I believe last week was 42 days, so we're down to like 36 maybe.
Yeah.
We're just, you know what? No,
Oh.
you know what's coming out?
What?
You know what's coming out, and I believe it's this Wednesday.
What is?
New DLC pack for Hunter Call of the Wild.
Oh, really?
And the big animal is a Bengal tiger.
Ooh,
Really? Where are Bengal tigers at? Besides the zoo, fucker. Besides the zoo.
Yeah, no.
Cincinnati.
India?
Apparently that's where we're going. Wherever Bengal tigers are, that they roam wild. That's the next DLC. So that will be probably on the docket this week once it's released.
I like it.
Big things
coming. We gotta add Bengal tigers to the wall at that point.
That's the one that they released that is like the big one. So they'll also probably throw in some random deers and mooses stuff in this.
Mooses.
In such.
How many mooses are roaming around Asia?
Well, that's funny. I don't know what else is. I don't know what else is over there. Like everything catches me off guard. I hope
it catches you off guard when it's charging at you.
Yeah, it really does. There's still one DLC that's all birds that I hate myself for buying because I just can't.
Birds? I guess.
Yeah, it's very bird heavy.
Yeah.
You get monies and everything when you shoot them when they're just roaming around on the ground, and that's clearly easier.
Okay.
But for the prestige and everything, you're supposed to shoot them while they're in air.
Yeah.
I fucking can't do that. I could use
I couldn't do that in real life.
Right.
Because you have to be like a mile ahead of them to get them.
And hope they don't turn then.
Good. Yeah. Turn as soon as you shoot the gun. Yeah.
Right. So I bought that DLC. I played it for like 5 minutes. I don't think I've ever went back to that territory again. But
I mean, I don't blame you for that.
As you guys are listening, I am probably having a few beverages with my dad. He, of course, it's camping season, so everybody's heard this for 8 years that I do one weekend with him. Clearly Father's Day is the one to pick this year, so decided to go do a little camping.
Gotta enjoy it.
I love camping, as long as there's a bottle of vodka and a 30-pack.
I think that's the only way to. I think that's the only way to enjoy it.
No, the bottle of vodka is always a bad idea. It really is a horrible idea because I pour a lot in some pop and I just down it like it's water. So that's it. That's how the podcast is going to end.
Love it.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do a great thing.
Your garbage can, not a garbage cannot. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Boop, boop.